Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tracy Show. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I love history and I love Black history. But this story was something that I had never heard about before. And I saw it on TikTok. And then I saw someone on YouTube talk about something like this. So I said, well, let me do my own little research and see what I come up with because I find this to be, I don't know. I can't even think of a word for it because slavery was already demoralizing, dehumanizing. We were never thought of as people. And we were treated so bad. We still are. We still are. We've come a long way. Don't get me wrong. But we still are. But this story right here, somebody needs to do a movie. I'm telling you, every day you have to research your history. And I'm telling you, you will find something new. Every day you'll learn something new. Please take a listen.
More than a century after their remains were taken and sent overseas for racist scientific study, 19 African Americans are finally coming home. Their skulls were shipped from New Orleans to Germany in the late 1800s, part of a now discredited field of research known as phrenology.
It is a demonstration of our own morality here in New Orleans and in Leipzig with the professors there, who wanted to do something to restore the dignity of these people.
Dr. Henry D. Schmidt, a New Orleans physician, sent the skulls to Leipzig in the 1800s. At the time, researchers claimed skull shape could reveal personality traits.
There was a belief at the time that science, through the study of a person's skull, could determine a person's personality, their character. Sounds pseudoscience to me. Also, their inferiority to others, and I'm sure to non-marginalized people in different places. And to think that this would happen to African descended people is not unusual because we have enough scholarship which says that all kinds of experiments were done on Black bodies, living and dead. It's an old and ancient institution.
Now, with their dignity restored, the 19 have been honored with a jazz funeral in New Orleans.
New Orleans welcomes them home. In New Orleans, the dead are never forgotten. So when 19 African American skulls stolen over a century ago and sent to Germany for racist science were finally returned, the city responded like only New Orleans can, with reverence, with ritual, and with rhythm. These skulls belong to real people, enslaved, freed, erased. They were taken from graves in the 1800s and studied in silence for generations. But now, that silence is broken. In Congo Square, drums echoed like a heartbeat. Elders poured libations. The names we do know were spoken aloud, and for the unnamed, we still made space, because in New Orleans, everyone gets a homecoming. This isn't just a burial, it's a resurrection of memory, a rejection of the dehumanization that followed them even in death. They were never just bones, they were ancestors. Don't let history bury them again. Follow to honor the past and uplift the truth.
Wow. So I found an article that pertains to the story, this exact story. This was on Memorial Day of this year. While we were celebrating Memorial Day, this was going on in Louisiana with 19 black Americans. The remains of 19 black Americans whose skulls were taken to Leipzig, Germany in the 1880s to perform racial pseudoscience experiments were brought to New Orleans to be properly memorialized. A repatriation committee said Thursday. And I just took a break because I'm trying to get all this wrapped around in my head. After 150 years, they decide to return the 19 skulls back. I can't wrap my head around this, but let's keep going. Dillard University, the city of New Orleans, and University Medical Center will hold a New Orleans-style jazz funeral on Saturday morning for the 13 men, 4 women, and 2 unidentified people, according to Dr. Monique Gullery, the president of the historically black Louisiana University. They were people with names, Gullery said at a press conference on Thursday. They were people with stories and histories. Some of them had families, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, human beings, not specimens, not numbers. Dr. Eva Baham, chair of Dillard University's Culture Repatriation Committee, said during the press conference that the University of Leipzig reached out to the city of New Orleans in 2023 and offered to repatriate the remains. Well, thank you. The Cultural Repatriation Committee, formed in 2024, looked through public records to identify exactly who people were and established a genealogy, according to Baham. The group has not been able to identify any descendants at this point, she noted. Baham's team located the people's death records in the archives of the charity hospital. The medical institution served people of all races from 1736 until it was shuttered due to severe damage from Hurricane Katrina in 2005. According to a statement from Dillard University, University Medical Center New Orleans opened in its place in 2015 and was the major funder of the project, Baham said. Of the 19 people, 17 of them died in December of 1871 and 2 died in January 1872. Their ages ranging from 15 to 70 years old, according to Baham. Many of them were not born in Louisiana, but came from states like Kentucky and Tennessee. The committee discovered that 10 of the 19 people were in New Orleans for less than 6 years. Quote, "We have noted who were here in New Orleans from 1 hour in 1871, 1 day a week, 2 months," Baham said at the news conference. "I just want to remind you that the Civil War had ended in 1865. So we have 10 of these individuals who had arrived here after the American Civil War." The names of the 17 people that the committee was able to identify include Adam Grant, 50, Isaac Bell, 70, Hiram Smith, 23, William Pearson, 43, Henry Williams, 55, John Brown, 48, Hiram Malone, 21, William Roberts, 23, Alice Brown, 15, Perlissa Hatchett, 19, Marie Lewis, 55, Mahalia, no listed last name, 70, Samuel Prince, 40, John Tolman, 23, Henry Allen, 17, Moses Willis, 23, and Henry Anderson, 23. So as I look at this picture, each skull is in one of the boxes. 19. So I have a question that I am asking myself that I would like to look into, or asking you if you know anything about this. After they finished doing whatever sick pseudoscience this was, they held on to it for 150 years. Why weren't they returned way before? Or I'm sorry, people, community, my brain can just, it's not wrapping around this. What is wrong with people? Let me continue. We can't rewrite history, Charlotte Parent, Vice President of Business Development at University Medical Center, said at the press conference. We sure can't. We sure can't. God, I wish we could. The times were what the times were at the time. But we can always look back and figure out ways that we can embrace and make things as right as we can. And this is one of those opportunities for us to do that. Just for clarity, I would like to repeat the names again that they were able to identify. Adam Grant, 50, Isaac Bell, 70, Hiram Smith, 23, William Pearson, 43, Henry Williams, 55, John Brown, 48, Hiram Malone, 21, William Roberts, 23, Alice Brown, 15, Priscilla Hatchett, 19, Marie Lewis, 55, Mahalia, no last name, 70, Samuel Prince, 40, John Tolman, 23, Henry Allen, 17, Moses Willis, 23, and Henry Anderson, 23. I have one more news clip for you all to please take a listen to.
1800s, a New Orleans doctor sent the skulls of 19 black residents to Leipzig, Germany, where racially biased researchers were trying to prove that African Americans had inferior intelligence.
And since then, I mean, this has been debunked, and we really recognize that, people are pretty much the same all over the world, but the vestiges of this research still remain.
Now, more than 150 years later, their bodies are back in New Orleans. Dillard University and other local organizations teamed up this morning to honor the 19 people who never got a proper memorial service. The Black Men of Labor and Kumbuka dancers performed at their jazz funeral this morning at the Lawless Memorial Chapel on Dillard's campus. Those who helped organize that funeral say it was necessary.
Something happened to these people, albeit horrible things happened to them. But thankfully, at the University of Leipzig, they believe that they could at least help to bring dignity back to them.
While they should never have been taken from this area, this is the opportunity to put them in the place that they need to be for peace.
They were laid to rest at the Hurricane Katrina Memorial.
For some reason, as bad as I know how our ancestors were treated, I mean, just treated terribly. There's still so much we need to find out. Still so much we need to find out. Please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching.